G'day guys, welcome back to the lab. Something a bit different this morning, or today, in this video. This was filmed a couple of years ago, back at the end of the first season for the little March that you see here, when it was running in two-wheel drive format. So this is before I broke the gearbox a couple of times and then decided, made it four-wheel drive. So there's lots of detail in the background of why this all came about, what we're about to see on this video, but I'll try and keep it short because it's guff that some of you don't want to hear. It's guff that I don't really want to talk about in public too much because people make big things out of wrong details and cause drama. So long story short, I approached Tim Hill, who is part of HRC events, and said, hey, I'm interested in doing some charity hot lap things with the car. And I've got this concept that we grab a handful of special vehicles, the coolest things we can get our hands on, and we do some charity auctions on Trade Me, and we throw those people in those cars at the last round of the HRC season or Super Lap season and donate the money to charity. And he was all for it, and we sorted out two charities. And so we did the hot laps thingy on one day, and we did a track cruise for a donation to charity on the next day, and I believe that went to the Pink Ribbon Trust or something like that. It was to do with breast cancer, the second one, which, just because of my own personal stuff, touched in quite well with what we were doing. So the charity auctions for the hot laps went to Leukaemia and Blood Cancer New Zealand, and then the track cruises the following day to basically breast cancer New Zealand sort of thing. So that was decided. Yep, cool, let's do that. And then it was like, right, what cars can we get? I'm going to forget all the cars that we got. One of them was a Porsche that used to belong to Dr. Dreamy from Grey's Anatomy. Please excuse me for forgetting his name. And one was a Bowler Tomcat that belongs to a chap called Glenn. So that's basically a Land Rover on steroids, converted into a racing vehicle, really off-road type thing. Pretty awesome anyway. We had Ray Williams in a Aston Martin, and there are a couple of others that I won't remember just quickly off the top of my head. I'm going to try and put them all in the details, so if you read the description for the video, you'll see who those people were and what the cars were, etc. So anyway, I was like, who are we going to put in the March? And the first person that came to mind was Steve Millen. Why not aim high, right? Why not go for the coolest Nissan person you can think of off the top of your head? So fired him an email and said, basically, are you going to be in the country on such and such a date? Because we're doing some charity ride thingies with some cars, and we'd like for you to drive this beastie here if you're interested. And obviously the response was yes, so that was pretty awesome. And he flew into New Zealand that same day. He came straight from the airport to the racetrack and jumped in the March for a couple of laps, so he knew what he was driving before he took a passenger, and took our auction winner out for a hoon, which is what this video is, the rest of it. So there's 2 or 3 laps in the first little session, and then they come back in. That's just Motorsport New Zealand rules to do with hot laps and stuff, and then there's another 2 or 3 laps after that. So the guy won an auction. He was told that he'll get 1 lap in the car, so he paid $210. Trade Me were good enough. There were no fees, no success fees or auction listing fees, so that whole $210 went directly to Leukaemia and Blood Cancer New Zealand. Off the top of my head, I believe we raised somewhere around $2,000 or $2,500 or something like that on the day. So it was good. It was really worthwhile, well doing. So I'll show you the little sign that Tim Hill went to all the trouble of organising. That's for the March, obviously, and we had one of those for each vehicle, so it was pretty cool. And thanks again to Steve for putting in his time and effort, going out of his way, quite literally out of his way, to get to the event and donating his time and having a chat, etc, etc. It was really good, really appreciated, and made my day, made my year. There's a couple there's a couple of photos kicking around on the internet. Just us standing on, leaning against the fence and watching Steve pedal the car around. It was something pretty special, you know. So sometimes bad things happen in life and they're balanced out a little bit with some pretty cool stuff like that, and cool people doing cool things to help others out. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the footage from in the car. Now I'm just mentioning it. So, and anyway, the beastie is still sitting here on the axle stands, ready to go. I don't think there's anything I need to do really. It's had an oil change and all that sort of carry on. It's ready for Taupo. Last round Super Lap 2019-2020 season. That's like 28th of March or something, so we've got a month. Not sure what I'll do with it in the meantime. There's probably going to be some tinkering, but hopefully you enjoy the video, and I'll catch up with you later on. Cheers, bye.
Straight into the seat, eh?